Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Mind the Moment's Tuesday morning gathering, brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness teachers to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino, and I am delighted to be here for our session number 3 with Greg Topakian, mindfulness instructor and longtime meditator. So glad to have you here, Greg. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Suzanne, and good morning to all of you who are joining us today. Very nice to be here. Nice to be warm enough. Nice to have this opportunity to practice together and to explore how mindfulness can help us live our lives.
Yeah, we are really grateful to have everyone here together. It's, we realize how, as we go through our ups and downs during this time, and sometimes we're seeing one another, sometimes we're not, but just having a community of folks, like-minded folks, it's a gift. So a quick announcement for those that are new. We are doing a Wednesday session. It is a Zoom meeting format session. I just wanted to mention to you, it's at 8:30. So it's a different session than the Tuesday, Thursday sessions, in the fact that it is, we'll be able to see one another on screen and interact directly with one another. Cameras are optional. I'll add the link into the chat so we have that. So I will add that in a little bit. So just to let you know that Tuesday and Thursdays will stay the same, but the Wednesday session will start at the same time, 8:30, and end at 9. So we're happy to do that. And so this morning, though, we'll start as we usually do with a question. Greg will lead on guided practice and share some thoughts with us. And after that, we'll have some time for questions. So if you open up your chat at the bottom of the screen, and you can click on the blue drop-down menu that gives an opportunity to see everyone's comments. And so that's about it for the housekeeping. And so let's see what question you have for us, Greg.
Well, the last couple of weeks, we've explored qualities of mind that resonate with mindfulness, qualities like kindness and compassion. And we're going to continue with that today. And I thought I would ask folks, what qualities of mind, what other qualities of mind might you want to cultivate that resonate with mindfulness, that support the arising of mindfulness, and for which mindfulness supports their arising? And how do you do that? How do you encourage them to come up? How do you encourage these mindful states to come up?
So qualities of mind. So what's an example?
Patience.
Yeah. So
gratitude, forgiveness.
I guess in my experience, in returning to my breath and looking to feel some sort of sense of ease.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And being in nature, I think, helps me, because I feel like I'm always in the present moment in nature. So how about you, Greg?
Well, patience is a big one. Gratitude is a big one for me. Generosity, all qualities that, when I am able to access them, there's a feeling of ease, as you said, in the body. There's less agitation. There's a sense of connectedness. And today, I thought we'd explore one that's called sympathetic joy. And to motivate our discussion of sympathetic joy, I'd like to start with a proverb from German folklore, and it goes something like this: when we're experiencing pain and we share it, it cuts it in half. But when we experience joy and we share it, it doubles it. And I think most of us know from our own experience that when something goes good for us and we're really excited and we go to someone and share our excitement, if they share our excitement, wow, it really does double, at least double. And it's very exciting and a connection. But here's the question, as ordinary human beings, what happens when someone we know has their good fortune and they share it with us? Where does our mind go? Now, maybe if it's our kids, it's a little bit more automatic. Oh, we love for our kids to have success. But what if it's a friend or someone who got the promotion we wanted? Part of us knows we're supposed to be happy for them. But again, being ordinary human beings trapped in old habits, maybe where the mind goes is, well, what about me? What did I do wrong? Will there be enough for me? Is there enough? Envy comes up, jealousy. And hence the suggestion that we work with this other quality of mind called sympathetic joy, which simply means our capacity to experience joy, happiness, excitement at the good fortune of another. And the question then becomes, well, okay, why? Another quality of mind I need to practice. But I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it makes a lot of sense for a couple of very basic reasons. First, it really deepens our connection with other people when we can truly experience joy at their good fortune. But even more fundamental than that, let's face it, life is tough sometimes and challenging, and we don't get what we want all the time. And if our happiness just relies on us having success at the workplace, success in life, and getting what we want, it's a little limited. You know, imagine if we really could feel happiness when other people experience good fortune. I mean, wow. To me, it defines what win-win is all about, you know. So it's worth a thought. It might be worth an effort. Now, the good news is that all of us ordinary human beings can do this. The challenging news is that if we're not awake and something like this happens, a friend of ours gets the promotion that we want, if we're not awake, then the mind is more likely to turn to old habits. And before you know it, we're down into the scarcity view of the world, there's not enough for me, or the envy view of the world. And we know what that feels like. But again, the better news is that with practice and with mindfulness, we have the capacity to work with this. With mindfulness, we can notice earlier on if the mind is traveling down those old habitual paths. The sooner we catch that, the easier it is to work with it. So with mindfulness, we can notice it earlier on. We can remind ourselves of the benefits of practicing sympathetic joy. Establish an intention. All right, I think I'll go for it. And then actually practice it. So it's mindfulness, noticing what's happening inside of us, understanding the benefits of cultivating this mind quality, establishing an intention to do so, and then actually doing something, practicing. So let's do a practice. So first off, I'll invite you to come to a comfortable position for yourself. Checking in with the body, as we always do. Feeling sensations that are happening in the present moment. Making adjustments to posture. And to help encourage the establishment of some momentum for sympathetic joy, first off, I'd like to invite you to pick one or two things for which you feel gratitude that you do have in your own life. Maybe it's as simple as, I'm grateful that the pipes didn't freeze last night, or that there's heat in the house, or hot water. You know how special those are. So for the resources that we have, or it might be something like a special friend or partner or person who we know always has our back, always has our best interest at heart. Might be your health, although not perfect. Deep down, we realize, it's not bad. It's pretty good. This body's working okay for me. Pick one or two things and just tap into your own joy of having this dimension of your life work for you. You really appreciate it. How does it feel in the mind and body when you tap into it? And now I'll invite you to practice sympathetic joy with me and to call up one person for whom it's very easy for you to truly feel joy at their good fortune. Seems natural to do so. So with this in mind, and perhaps recalling a past episode where this person experienced success in some way, good fortune, we offer the following wishes. How wonderful it is for you that you experience this good fortune. I feel joy when this happens. May your good fortune continue. May it grow. May it flourish. And just to check in, visualizing the experience of the other person as you share the excitement of their success. Checking in with what it feels like for you. Is there happiness there? Or not? If there isn't, to be honest about that. And to remind oneself, okay, this is normal. Maybe I'm a little envious. But let me remind myself of what's possible, of the benefits of cultivating this mind state. And now I'll invite you to call up a second person and have this second person stand around you along with the first person. And perhaps you recall a moment where they shared something that was going well for them, shared it with you. And what you offered was how wonderful it is that things are working out well for you. I really feel excited and happy at your good fortune. May it continue. May it grow. May it flourish. Again, to visualize what it might feel like to connect with this person in this way. To explore what thoughts and feelings and sensations arise in your own body and mind as you experiment with encouraging this mind state to arise. And again, if it feels a little fake or awkward, to be patient with yourself. Right? This is a practice. We're experimenting. We heard that there might be benefits. Let's explore it without judgment. And finally, let's call up one more person in the circle around us. And to offer how wonderful it is that things have turned out so well for you. I feel joy at your good fortune. May it continue. May it grow. May it flourish. And now in the next minute, for you to repeat this practice with one of these people or to call up a fourth. And in these words or your own, to offer your excitement and joy to this person at their good fortune. And I'll count backwards from 3. And when I get to 1, I'll invite us all to reopen our eyes and come back to the group. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Greg.
Sure.
I'd love to some feedback from folks on how that resonated with you. I think it's such an important practice because Greg and I were speaking about this earlier before we started the webinar, that we can use other resources these days to up the joy in our lives, you know, as we kind of move along the way we're living these days with, you know, our new situation. So I think it's what a great way to connect mindfulness to our own inner joy. So I thought it was a great practice. So thank you, Greg.
Yeah, and not to be judgmental of ourselves if it felt a little fake in the beginning. We all have older habits of how we react in the world. And many of us have a model where there's not enough. There's not enough good stuff to go around. And welcome to the human race on that. But again, with the mindfulness, if we can notice that this is what's coming up for us, and we can notice it earlier on, it's a little easier to work with it. Oh, I see you. I know you're trying to help me, but I'm exploring other ways now. So there's not a sense of fighting or resisting as much as noticing and just saying, okay, this is an experiment. Let me try to respond to life in a way that brings greater connection with others and which brings more peace.
Yeah, and I love the way you've handled that, Greg. I've heard that before, that our emotions that come in, we can thank them because they're there to protect us in some way, shape, or form.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a non-judgmental way to look at that, I think is very
Yeah.
important. So that's very good.
Yeah. I mean, we're all sort of ordinary human beings here trying to figure this out, right? And
Right.
the mind has a capacity to go to helpful places, and that can be supported. Or if we're not awake, sometimes it can go to places that aren't so helpful. And we notice that.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm just noticing some of the comments too that folks have added. Um, yeah, sharing joy. They've really connected to this practice. Wonderful way to focus on loving kindness, both to self and others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And that it's, with someone, Janice has mentioned that it's reminding ourselves that this is a practice, and that practice means continually uh, evoking this opportunity. It might not come naturally, like you mentioned initially.
Yeah, and I see that someone has said felt like pretending. Well, really, but thank you for your honesty there, right? I mean, that's true for all of us. And that's why at first, pick someone that it might be the easiest for you, and maybe even begin the process by a gratitude for what's good in your own life. So you're already feeling a little bit more whole and complete, and you're picking someone that it's a little easier to do that, just to get your feet wet a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. If it's something new, sometimes we might tend to go and try a more challenging person or situation, and that could set us back a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, and we've all been there, right? I should have gotten that. What's the matter with me? Blah blah blah, right? And who does that serve, right? It really doesn't help us, and it really doesn't help the world to put that out there. So if we understand that and can have some patience with ourselves, we can work with it.
Yeah. Now this is, like you mentioned about mindfulness, it's the reminder to take a breath,
Yeah,
even just that one pause to
yeah, yeah,
notice what's happening in our body
yeah.
and how that envy feels. Probably doesn't feel great.
Yeah, probably doesn't feel great. It's really that simple. And to be open to that, oh, reacting in this way does not feel great. The big word for that is disenchantment, right? We become less in awe of that old reaction. You know what? It doesn't feel good.
Hmm. Yeah,
It feels better to respond to the world in other ways.
right. Yeah, and to be patient with ourselves, to know that that it's almost just like anything else. It's something that we need to rewire ourselves,
Mhm.
rewire our brain to react differently, because it's like you said, it's natural. It's natural to feel disappointed and also feel envious. So really, a really unique practice, I think, for folks that haven't done it before. I've had a little exposure to it, and sometimes you're in the mood for it, and sometimes you may not be.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
but I like anything else that we said, it's practice. So thank you
It's
so
like
much.
going to the gym, right? There are some machines we're drawn to and some, I don't know. And sometimes
Maybe,
we're up for taking that challenge.
maybe next time, maybe
Yeah.
next round. Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you. A lot of gratitude for this practice on the chat. So we're
Thank
very
you all.
happy for folks who've joined, and for your feedback, and for your questions and comments. It's been really enriching for all of us. And of course, a big word of gratitude to Greg for taking us through this journey over the last 3 weeks, where we've been able to build on cultivating these wonderful and unique qualities of mind. So
Oh, absolutely, my pleasure. Yeah, thanks to all of you for your practice,
yeah,
for showing up,
showing
making
up,
an
giving
effort.
it a try, and
Yeah,
trying again when it doesn't work.
yeah.
So I want to share that link that I mentioned earlier, the link for Wednesday. That should come up on your chat. If for some folks said it's sometimes hard to copy that, if you do either a screenshot, or if you actually just click on that link, it'll take you right to the Zoom. And this is for Wednesday, for tomorrow morning at 8:30. You don't need a passcode or anything like that. But if you just click on the link, then you can go to your browser later and just copy and paste it to your calendar for tomorrow. So happy to have everybody here this morning, and like Greg said, grateful for your practice, and hope to see you at another time, and hopefully tomorrow morning, if that works for you. If not, we'll hope to see you soon. So thanks again for joining, and thank you, Greg.
My pleasure. Thank you, Suzanne.
Okay.
Take care.
See
Be
you soon.
well.